Hello, Helldivers. I have a bit of a unique video for you today. Most of the time when I record Helldivers, I will be commentating live. The audio you hear from me is the audio that was present during the game itself. However, I noticed that I could never play to my full potential whenever I did this. So, what I wanted to do was play a game at not quite my 100% best, but near it, pretty much near, say 95% best on Helldive difficulty. And then, after the fact, go over it and narrate basically what I'm doing. I want to kind of explain my thought process and exactly what was going through my mind at the time, and maybe just talk about a few other things during. So, let's get right into it, shall we? The first step to doing Helldive difficulty is to pick the correct mission. It's really easy to just get into a mission, and for the most part, if you're playing with like friends or whatever, that's probably the best way to go about it. Saves the most time. Finding a mission that doesn't have the plus 50% stratagem call-in time. My, specifically, 500 kilogram bombs have a specific timing to them. And I've got that timing down to the point where I can recreate that timing consistently. So add a plus 50% cooldown to that, screws up my timing completely, and I have no clue how to time it properly. It's going to lead to a lot of missed 500s for me. So in general, I like to stay away from that. I also found that on bug missions specifically, eradicate missions are much easier than blitz missions. There's always going to be one or the other, sometimes both, but I like to choose a mission that has an eradicate, not a blitz. So with those two qualifications in mind, the actual missions themselves, whether they're extract civilians, blow up a ICBM, destroy eggs, whatever they are, I don't really mind. I'm good with all of them. And you really should be in Helldivers. And for the record, I can do blitz missions on bugs, I just find that the eradicate missions are a lot more fun. And also a lot more consistently, I do them better. Go to the planet you want to go to, choose your Helldive difficulty, and then check around and see if you found, check the operation modifiers, check the blitz/eradicate mission, make sure it's all the ones you want. If it isn't, Alt F4 out of the game, and then load the game back up. When you leave the game and come back, the missions will completely reset. You'll get a fresh batch of 3 missions. So, do this until you find a mission that is to your suit. Find a mission that is suitable for you. This shouldn't take too long, as you should be versed in multiple different kinds of missions. Ideally, yes. Like I said, there's just the one operation modifier that I don't do, and that's about it. So, without further ado, we're going to get actually into the mission now. Starting now. Now, this is just personal preference, but I like to do the eradicate mission first. Just get that out of the way. It's the quick mission. It also has probably the highest chance of losing, so I like to do that one quickly. Also, before we get into it, do know that the music you are hearing is live. I perform the best when I have music playing, so you're going to have to bear with me for that one. The stratagems I take are Shield Generator. For Eradicate missions specifically, I take the Quasar, because Bile Titans are a problem on high difficulties. Gas Strike for the super low cooldown, and 500 Bomb for Bile Titans. Now, I did switch out to Expendable Anti-Tank here, because the amount of chargers there are, as well as just the amount of Bile Titans, means you're probably going to be moving around the map the entire time. So, having to constantly chase your Quasar if ever you die is very bad. For Eradicate missions, I'd like to take the Hellpod's base optimization, because whenever you do die, which you probably will, you can drop with full stings, and that's very useful. Right. So the first thing to do as soon as I drop is I activate my shield generator and my support weapon, as well as the resupply pod. Now, this specific time, I had a flamethrower because we were given one during the mission, but we were given one for free. So that's why I have 2 support weapons there. First thing you want to do, make sure you clear out as many bugs as you can. Try not... I'd like to... Getting overwhelmed is really, really bad. So you can see right here, I'm just using the flamethrower to try and clear out all of these warriors. The thing with Eradicate missions is you're going to get bombarded with constant bugs, but Bile Titans usually don't spawn right away. Unless you're playing a difficulty 9, which we are. Another thing to prioritize first are not necessarily the Bile Titans, but the Hunters and the Chargers. These two are going to give you the most problem. So as you can see right there, I shot the Charger in the leg with a flamethrower. That's going to do the most damage. Right as the Bile Titan spits, by the way, is when you want to throw the 500 right at its mouth. Usually, if you lead him in the correct direction, it should kill in one go. However, there, I had to lead it to the right because there was too much chaos on the left, which led to the Bile Titan surviving. Shooting Shriekers here, just because Shriekers are also a problem. They're another priority person. They will hit you when you're trying to shoot other people. During these Eradicate missions, you can peek in and out of the combat zone, so long as you don't stay out there forever. As you can see right here, I realized there are 4 Bile Titans on me, which means that pick a set of 2 Bile Titans and throw your 500 in the middle. Unfortunately, I died to the spray, but I got the 500 off, which did big damage. Landing on a Bile Titan here also means that it killed it, because it was damaged from 500. So that's 2 Bile Titans out of the way already, out of the 4. One died in the 500, and the other one died in my Hell pod. See, right even here, when I'm running away, I am prioritizing those Hunters, because those Hunters will screw you up. Early stemming as well. A lot of times I'm going to early stem. If I ever notice that there's a lot of bugs around me, and I'm probably going to get hit a lot, I will early stem, so that way I don't get stun locked with stems. Because you can't stem if you are in the middle of getting hurt. So yeah. Right here, I'm going to take a few pot shots. I had a little bit of time to take a few pot shots there at the Bile Titan. I only got one. Didn't kill. Here, shooting Shriekers, shooting Hunters. Nail that Bile Titan face with the second ETA, your EAT. Gas Strike, because I have a huge core out behind me. That's what the Gas Strike's for. It's meant for huge crowds. Unfortunately, there was a bug root right to my right, so I had to move out from my safety zone, which I had kind of created. I have a Charger on my back. Charger crushing will one-shot you no matter what armor you're wearing. Right here, I stem right before I'm about to grab the supply pack, because you get 2 stems per supply pack, so it's really, really important. You can serve more, basically, if you stem before then, so that way you get the most out of your supply packs. I guess you'll probably notice by now that the most important part of Eradicate missions, and this is going to go for a lot of the other missions, is to make sure you're constantly on the move. You have to treat it like Doom Eternal. If you've ever played any of the Doom games, you'll know that moving is super important. You can never stay in the one spot. So right here, I'm going to 500 this Bile Titan. I missed completely. You can see me shaking my head there. I was not happy with that throw. Did not kill, but I had an expendable anti-tank, lining up the shot, missed again. So this Bile Titan should probably be dead by now, but I whiffed it. Right there, I see a Hunter on my right, as well as I'm getting in the middle of Bile Titan spit, so I stem. It's one of those early stems I was talking about. Right here, I see 2 Chargers and a Bile Titan on me, which means I'm going to 500 this. Those big boy Chargers, the behemoth Chargers, take 2 expendable anti-tanks to the face, so trying to group them up with Bile Titans whenever you can to kill them with 500s is the preferable outcome. I didn't kill him, but I did knock the armor off of his leg, which means that I was able to shoot his leg with my primary. Right there, I got hit with my own Gas Strike, so I stimmed immediately. Just like if you're on fire, so long as you... I guess it's a little different. If you're on fire, dive right away, and it will put out the fire. But if you're ever caught in a Gas Strike, stim, because the stim damage will do... Stim healing will heal you more than the gas will do. So get out of the time. You should be able to get out by the time the gas goes. You can see there are way, way too many Chargers here for me to take care of each of them on my own. So I'm just kind of dealing with a lot of the smaller guys right here while I pick up some more stems. Stems are the most important part in the mission, so making sure you have enough of them is important. Right here, I get crushed by one of the mini behemoth charges on my way. It's unfortunate, but it happens. Another thing to remember is, especially in these Eradicate missions, you're probably going to die. So you cannot get deterred by a death. Right? No one's going to play a perfect game. Another thing with the expendable anti-tank is making sure you call them down pretty much whenever you have a chance. If they're off cooldown and you are not currently shooting things, make sure you call them down. There I get unfortunated by hunters, but that's another reason why you have to target hunters very, very priority. You have to make sure you kill them on time because stuff like that can happen. There's only like 3 hunters. These shriekers are also not helping very well. I'm going to gas strike this group. Deal with the hunters. See, look. Gotta deal with the hunters. Right here, I get shriekered. That's another reason to deal with the shriekers, but hunters are more and more important. Right? Hunters will attack you 10 times a second. Shriekers will only attack you once. I try an impact grenade to clear out some of these warriors and actually knock myself over twice. I have a bad habit of doing that. So I see this Bio Titan right as he spews, shoot right for his mouth. You can see that. That's the timing I was referring to later. And as you can see, it barely does enough damage. One more ETH should kill, but I guess not. Either way, we're at 98% now, which means that one more EAT to this Bio Titan would be the end. However, don't always need to kill the Bio Titan. So I figured I won the mission. I'm just going to use my last 500 on this Bio Titan, which is a guaranteed kill because of how weak he is at this point. Yep, and there goes the Bio Titan. Now, just because the mission's over does not mean we're done fighting. As you can see, there's so much on screen, the bitrate is tanking. Yeah, there's no rest for the wicked, and there's no rest for Helldivers either. So, once I have enough cleared out, you just want to win. You don't have to kill every enemy, you don't get anything from it. And just like that, that is the Eradicate mission. I was kind of talking fast and loose there, so I hope it made a little bit of sense. Alright, so I'm just going to go ahead and skip ahead here a little bit, past all the hubbub. So let's take a look at the map here, because before you land into a map, picking where to go is important. So right here, I decide to go right next to extraction. Basically, a good general gist is to make a circle of the map. You want to go from one end of the circle and go all the way around in big old 360, and that's the ideal map. And as you can see here, you see the kind of path I intended to make. Go from sub-objective, sub-objective, hit this bonus objective, hit these 2 red dots on the right-hand side, go to main objective, and then circle back to extraction. Where to land is very important, because time is of the essence in Helldivers, and you have to make sure you have enough of it by making sure you're doing the correct things in the correct order. So here I actually take the Emancipator Exosuit, because the Flamethrower was like an unlocked stratagem at the time. I will let you know, however, that I did not use the Exosuit the entire time. No, I did not touch it once. So, remove the Exosuit with the Flamethrower, replace the Exosuit with the Flamethrower, and that is my standard loadout for bugs. So, a little confusing there, but just know that this was done 100% without the mech, as you will see. So anyway, I see a bunch of stuff to my right as soon as I drop in, so I'm going to drop away from that. Like, first thing you always do as soon as you land is shield generator and support weapon. Yeah, you should not have a shield generator and drop. As these things are coming down, I'm looking around to see whatever I can find. And as I immediately see, there's a Spore Spewer right in front of me. So before I head to main objective, I'm going to head to that Spore Spewer. I pinged that radar because I thought it was a radar station, not the sub-objective. So pinging it confirmed that it was just a sub-objective and not a radar station. My general strategy for Spore Spewers is 500 kilogram bombs because I don't have anything to deal with them. As you can see there, I tried to chuck it on the top, but it bounced, so I just ran away very, very far. Dealing with these Spore Spewers is quite a chore when you don't have Quasar. So automatically, by the way, I am panicking because I can't see anything. My visibility is limited because of the Spore Spewer. My arm is broken, and I have a bunch of hunters on me that I cannot see. So instead of trying to go for the Spore Spewer further, I back up, and before I even stim to deal with my broken arm, I make sure I make sure that I deal with those hunters. I use a gas strike to cover my flank and deal with most enemies that are going to be on my ass while I'm dealing with the Spore Spewer. I try and get another right on the top, and I miss again. Sometimes it bounces, sometimes it doesn't. There's really not a general strategy. I waited to see until maybe maybe it would break it anyway, but it didn't work. So I figured there's literally no point in waiting around. I'm just going to go to main objective. I spot this charger on the way, and chargers, they might stand still and look friendly. They are not. Kill them the second you get a chance. As you can see, I have a bunch of stuff chasing me right now, so I figured it's best for me to just dip out of this situation now. I can't see, my visibility is limited, and I'm low on resources, aka 1 stem. So I make sure I get to the sub-objective before I call down my resupply, because I know I'm going to be fighting here a while. Call down the SSSD, and then once I'm in a position that I can control, I check and see if there's enemies on the flank. I was about to flame them, but there were none. So I just go straight for the main objective. I make sure all my weapons are reloaded. Grab one. Now, I didn't grab 2 right away. 3 stems is more than enough when you have a resupply right next to you. Because you're going to be using guns, you're going to be using support weapons, so making sure that you have enough is good. Also right there, I get absolutely demolished by that brute commander. That's another reason to wait. You get 2 stems per resupply pod, so making sure you wait until you have 2, or just right next to you, is good, because then you max out. Also right there, you can do a little dive and get back to the terminal faster, just to help a little tip. While it's doing its thing, I am going to flame these nursing spewers. Nursing spewers are another priority one. Not a little under the hunters, but because they have the ability to one-shot you, they're very, very important to kill. Once all of them are dead, I think, Flamethrower is really good at killing enemies like that. Finish up the main objective, accidentally burn my flesh. Like I said, dive right away. Then you can see that stemming in progress, stemming to make sure I get the most out of the stems. You always want to be full health. When you're playing solo, you have 4 supply packs. Make sure you use them. My Eagle 500s are back online, so this time I'm like, okay, it's weak to the point where I should be able to kill the Spore Spewer, but I spot a Bile Titan along the way. So what I do is I shoot the Bile Titan, so I get its attention. Once it's aggroed on me, then I throw it right next to it, and I learn a fun thing right here, and that is the Bile Titan can destroy Spore Spewers. I actually learned that for the first time right in that moment. So, you know, good to know there, isn't it? Anyway, a general mentality for bugs, and you'll see this a lot, is a just get out strategy. If you have nothing to be there for, don't be there. Even a Bile Titan, I have no main objective, I have no bonus objective, there's no reason for me to be there at that moment, so I'm just going to leave. Because of all the dense trees, the Bile Titan loses me pretty easily, which is really good. I stumble across a radar station, which is really good. You can see me right there. When I circled to that, I was circling to the Hell Bomb. Because I found a Hell Bomb, I put my Eagles back on resupply. Usually it's smart, especially in situations like these, to save one of them, unless you are absolutely sure. So because I found my Hell Bomb, I figured I might as well resupply. Easily killed the charger there, like I said. Aim for the leg, those chargers go down really quickly. But priority thing, dealing with bug breaches. So right there, as soon as I see where that bug breach was, I put a gas strike on it. That, you can see there in the kill feed, already got 20 kills, and that was just a bunch of the tiny enemies. It's going to deal with hunters, it's going to deal with pretty much everything, but it won't quite deal with Bile Titans. So, but hey, there's a reason that we put our Eagles on resupply, and that was because of the Hell Bomb. So all I'm doing right here is I am just kiting this Bile Titan around to wherever that Hell Bomb was. I thought for a second that it lost me, so I shoot at it there to make sure it knows where I am. Impact grenade these Bile Spewers, because I have said before how big of a problem they are. They're one-shot abilities, you want to do it. This Bile Titan then annoys the heck out of me by getting completely lost. I have to keep backpedaling because of these Spore Spewers. But finally the Bile Titan realizes what he's doing, so I take out my grenade pistol and blow him to kingdom come. It also very conveniently deals with all of those Spore Spewers, not Spore Spewers, the Nursing Spewers. My shield generator also saved me from getting knocked over there. Very, very good. Alright, so now that all the problems are dealt with, I can finally do main objective. You can see me preemptively pinging where I'm going to go next. That's another thing to learn, is while you're waiting for things, what you can learn in Helldivers is you're pretty much always busy. Remember, I've also said before, chargers are not peaceful. They will eventually kill you. If you ever find one stuck and not moving, kill it before it gets the chance to move. Remember, it's heresy to leave them alive. Now, this isn't really required, but a fun thing to do is if your character will wait at the terminal whenever you push a button for like a solid second after it's like you don't need to be on the terminal anymore, so you can exit the terminal with E as well. Like right there, you can see it. The terminal was still doing things, but I exited it preemptively, so that way I was able to do other things. So pretty much right as soon as you're able to leave the terminal, you've done with whatever you need to do. You should leave it because you can keep moving a lot quicker. Just like how I'm talking, time is very important, and you need to move quick. You cannot do what I like to call death looping. Death looping is basically where you end up fighting for so long that you call in every single patrol in the area. And as you fight more patrols come to you, and bug breaches spawn, and eventually gets to the point where you're just spending 10 plus minutes fighting. And that is really, really bad. Usually you want to avoid that. And in order to do that, you have to keep moving quickly and fast. So here you can see me. I'm highlighting a few areas. Eventually you'll get to the point with mini-maps that you can kind of identify what mini-maps look like, what POIs are, by just simply looking at them. Right here I spot this Bile Titan, so I'm going to take a long way away. It's also smart if you ever see rogue Bile Titans like that, or patrols or anything of the like, to ping them so that way you and your squad know where they are. Or if you're like me, you're playing on your own, totally fine. But you see that red marker on the right-hand side of my screen, that is where the Bile Titan is. You can see the Bile Titan going further and further away. You can see it going from 90 meters to 100 meters. That means I know the Bile Titan isn't chasing me, so I can keep doing what I'm doing. Come across this bug hive here. Smart to just, blow up everything in the middle there. There's always going to be some people guarding it. Avoiding the bug breach here is almost impossible. You can see I throw my gas truck right on top of that bug breach. You should pretty much get like accustomed to, if you see bug breach at the top, make sure you whip out your gas truck and throw it right on top of it. That bug breach happened to spawn on Bile Titan, but we don't need to concern ourselves with that just yet. Bile Titan's not on top of us, so we need to prioritize those hunters first. Bile Titan starts to get on top of me, and then it loses me with its awkward AI pathing. So, I wait until I find a spot where I can actually throw it in a straight line. I missed my shot. It was a little far. I accidentally aimed a little farther than I should have, but it's totally fine. Absolutely crushes my bit rate, but it's okay. While the Bile Titan's just doing its thing back there, I make sure that I'm spending my time wisely, not just staring at it for no reason, so I'm clearing up some of these bug holes. It also will help me deal with not having to deal with so many of them. You can also see that every time I back up, I whip out a 500 just in case that I'm able to throw it, but as soon as I realize that he's not in a good position to throw it, I don't. Right here, I see that he's kind of stuck, and he's doing like a 360 right on top of him. Dead Bile Titan. So, once I clear the bug nest, as I said before, you have to make sure that you are constantly moving. Bug nest is clear, I have no reason to be here, so I am immediately leaving. Now, another thing to note, you're probably wondering why I'm not picking up any samples, because the answer here is I don't need them. So, if you need samples, pick them up. However, I do not need samples. I have maxed out on all ship upgrades. So, when you ever see me walking by samples going, Parzival, Parzival, make sure you pick up those samples. Yeah, I don't need them. So, yeah, there you go. Anyway, I found this minor POI. I figured I'd bust into it. And I got pretty much garbage. Rec slips are 100% pointless, and medals don't really do me a whole lot. While I'm here, I'm just going to stem up and make sure I resupply some basic necessities. I see a bunch of enemies chasing me, so I'm just going to gas strike. The beauty of the gas strike is because of its super low cooldown, you can use it in situations like that just to clear some enemies that are chasing you. So as you can see, I'm pointing to another hell bomb there. It's just good to, whenever you see a hell bomb like that, remember where it is in case you ever need to use it. Right? Like, hell bombs that you just find around the place are extremely, extremely useful. Like that one, whoever detonated that hell bomb found out very quickly. Anyway, I am fresh out of grenade pistol ammo as well as my regular ammo, so I figured I'm going to calling resupply. I'm also out of primer ammo, so here I am with 0 ammo in my inventory, beating the ever-loving crap out of bugs. Stalkers are not a problem so long as you have a shield generator. They die really quickly to the incendiary as well, so stalkers, not a problem. Anyway. Make sure I'm all ammoed up. You see reloading flamethrower. You're about to get more ammo from your resupply pod, so make sure everything's reloaded. You only get 2 grenade pistols per ammo supply, so thankfully playing solo you get a bunch. Here I'm noticing a very large amount of hell bombs. There's 3, 4. I figured this place is probably a minefield and I shouldn't stay around here anymore, so... Trying not to accidentally trigger these hell bombs by shooting at the stalkers, but as you can see, they die super quickly with the incendiary breaker, as well as they don't even touch me. Another one tries to sneak up on me behind, but they die super quickly. And this is not so... Yep, more stalkers. They aim for their general face-ish area, and they die quick. Yeah, the shield generator is super duper nice, and the reason I take it. Grenade pistol for bug breaches, and stalker layers. So now I saw one coming from another direction, so I'm going to head to where I saw that stalker layer before. Well, not the layer, but where the stalker came from. Here's the thing, stalkers might be a superior species to the hunters, and they'll kill you and stealth you, but they always walk in a straight line from wherever their nest was. So basically see where they came from and walk in that general direction. You'll probably find it. Whilst the shield generator might save me from stalkers, I do want to prioritize killing them over breaking the stalker layer. Just very simply because they will kill me very quickly as soon as I break that shield generator. I'm pinging every hell bomb I see because, like I said before, it's good to keep a mental note of where all of those hell bombs are. By the way, that ping on the map right now, that ping was basically just to see hell bomb alley. In case I ever came across like a group of Bile Titans or something, that's where that ping is originating. Now, finding that many hell bombs on usual standard mission probably not going to happen, so you probably won't have to worry about that. Anyway, as soon as I've dealt with those stalker layers, I'm heading straight to the objective. You gotta keep moving. I am dealing with chargers, very, very important. I didn't kill him right away, so just simply walk out of the way. This guy got a bug breach off, which is annoying, but I stem because I'm about to get hit. There we go. Remember those preemptive stems I was talking about? And it saved me from 2 breaking arms. Trying to kill that charger real quick before I gas, and that is a really, really good gas right there, by the way. So good, the music kicks back in. Anyway, warriors were a little far forward, so I figured I'll deal with them with the flamethrower real quick. The warriors that are really close to me, I'll use the break incendiary just because it's easy to light yourself on fire. You can see that gas strike doing wonders right there. 30 kills right there. I don't know why. My gun reloaded there. I was not happy about it at the time. I did not input reload, by the way. I want to point that out. Dealing with hunters, priority hunters. Always shoot the hunters first, then shoot everything else. When you're at this evacuate party citizens, make sure you always call in a resupply pod. You're going to be there a while. Assuming you're not fighting a bunch, also do like legal rearm, that's important. But here I'm fighting a ton. Hive guards, they die quickly to the flamethrower, but they also die quicker to grenades. So I had a few grenades on standby, so I'm just going to chuck a few there. Right up this ramp is beautiful spot for a flamethrower. They all have to come right through this funnel, also known as, yeah, none of them are getting by. I did not see this warrior behind me. Thankfully I caught him before he did anything crazy. Bunch of nursing viewers right there, so I'm just going to grenade pistol, impact grenade them, makes it really, really quickly. Just doing objective things. Make sure I'm reloading, make sure I'm stemming, make sure I'm doing everything I can to make as much value out of my supply packs as I can. I would give you advice on how to push buttons, but you're just kind of pushing buttons here, so... I did notice a few bugs coming from this side, and I realized that it was a hunter patrol, so because hunters can deal with those citizens a lot quicker than they can deal with me, I'm going to make sure I'm right up in their faces so that way none of them slip by and kill my civilians. Every time you hear the music kick in, by the way, is usually when I consider that we're fighting, so I guess I considered this a good enough time for fighting. As you can see, there were another patrol came in here. I didn't have any ammo on my primary, so I decided just to beat the hell out of the hunter. It did not work, but it did stagger him to the point where I could then reload. Just pushing buttons. It's probably the worst part about playing solo is doing evacuate priority citizens. Probably should have mentioned this before, but I do like to do my least favorite of the two missions first, and the other one was launching an ICBM, which is easily probably one of the best missions in the game. There you can see me pinging a charger. He didn't look like he was moving, so I just pinged him to make sure that he wasn't moving. Remember how I was talking about passive chargers aren't always passive? Yeah, this one does seem to be, though, so... Another thing that's good to do is to check your minimap often, assuming you don't have atmospheric spores like I do. So me checking my minimap here doesn't do anything, but your minimap will reveal a bunch of enemies around you. So it's good to check that constantly, making sure there's no patrol sneaking up on you while you're doing stuff like this. But that's one of the downsides of atmospheric spores, is it kind of blocks your your radar from working. So listening ears are very important. That's another reason I'm killing the music here, is because I'm listening for patrols. Patrols usually make a hissing sound as they're walking by. Like, it kind of sounds like a bunch of spiders walking along next to you. Like Minecraft spiders, you know, that constant hissing sound they make. With automatons, it's even easier, because they have a cadence that they march to whenever they're walking by. Cyber stand, can't keep her down, all that jazz. They also make clicking sounds. A few of them will make clicking sounds. Being able to hear patrols before you see them is very important. I'm currently running the scout armor, which is my... No, I wouldn't say it's my 100% personal preference for bugs, but I think it is the best, especially in Helldive difficulty, because, well, there's a lot of bugs, and you want to piss off as few of them as possible.
You have ignited the torches of liberty.
So anyway, I see this weird thing on the minimap, so I'm going to go check out whatever it was first. And that little thing on the minimap I saw, which turned out to be a sieve artillery. That's another thing to get good at, is looking at minimaps and being able to just see what's on the field by just looking at it as in the minimap. This patrol here hasn't seen me, so I'm going to crouch to try and make sure that they don't. I want to do as little fighting as possible. Right here, I'm just looking for artillery shells. I talked about this in one of my previous videos, but the video got like 2 views, so I'll talk about it again, because you probably didn't see it. But when you activate the terminal on a sieve artillery, it calls in every single patrol in the area, kind of like it does for extraction. So, instead of ringing that dinner bell right away, put all of your shells next to the input spot, and then do it. But, as you can see, I got kind of screwed over by a patrol here anyway, and they just happen to be here. I did find a sieve mini nuke though, and as you can see, they're not pissed at me yet until I shot them in the face, but because they weren't pissed, I decided to leave them that way for a little bit while longer until I got a few sieves up and running. But you can only avoid them for so long, so once the fight started, I gassed the bug breach, shot this guy in the face. Some people will say that shooting those guys in the legs is better because then they can't charge at you, because if you shoot a brute commando's face off, it will basically bum rush you and basically try and do one last final push to kill you. But it's kind of personal choice if you want to shoot him in the legs or the face. I shoot him in the face because it's quicker, but if you want to shoot him in the legs because it's safer, that's your choice as well. Anyway, bunch of spore spewers. Nope, nursing spewers. I was getting the two confused. Bunch of nursing spewers means impact grenades are your friend, and I have ran out of impact grenades, so Flamethrower it is. I'm going to whip out the flamethrower. It deals with pretty much everything, including those troublesome mission spewers. But hey, with the recent 400 patch, they made it so there's less Battle Titans and a lot more swarms. So Flamethrower has become the best choice for bugs. I mean, it's kind of always been the best choice for bugs, to be honest with you. I've ran it forever, but people are finally starting to realize that it is super duper solid. Anyway, I'm seeing that Battle Titan. I do not care about that Battle Titan because it does not care about me. I'm getting that mini nuke into position. The more I get in there, the less this time will take. So, you remember how I was talking about death looping before? How you spend so long fighting that you're just basically going to keep looping until you, well, die. That's why it's called death looping. Because usually it's going to result in your death. And this is what's happening here. I'm fighting, and that causes patrols to show up. When I fight those patrols, it causes more patrols to show up, which in turn causes more patrols to show up. So it's an infinite loop. You'll never get out of it. The only way to break the loop is to either A, kill more bugs than are spawning, which, when you're playing solo Helldive, is probably never going to happen, or simply running away. The patrols are drawn to combat, and if you are running away, they are not drawn to that. So death looping is really, really bad, and you don't want to do it. Now, as you can see, right in the middle of the kind of pseudo-fighting, because I have the shield generator, I can tank a few hits before they even get to me. So that's what I'm doing right here, is I'm just putting that Seath into position. So now all 5 Seaths are right there where I need them to be. But, obviously, I can't do anything with how many bugs are in the area, so I'm just like clearing a few of them out. And here's another downside of death looping, is the bug breaches. By the time you've dealt with the patrol, they spawn another bug breach, which will lure another patrol in. So, gas striking that, I notice a hell bomb there, which means I go in the opposite direction. I don't want to accidentally trigger it when I'm an inch away from it. Now that gas is going to deal with a lot of the small guys, but big guys like Nation Cures and Brood Commanders, I have to deal with myself with the flamethrower. But I see a Hunter Patrol behind me, which is just the most joyous thing in the world, so I figured, I might as well use that Hellbomb to my advantage. Yeah, there they go. Hellbombs, environmental Hellbombs, are an amazing thing. But, like I said, I am death looping currently. This is what it looks like. I started this about 5 minutes ago, and I am still fighting, despite me having basically the objective done. All I have to do is activate the terminal, put the shells in, and then I'm basically done. But because there's so many bugs, I can't do that. And the more bugs there are, the more bugs that spawn, the more bugs that come to me death looping. I'm trying to get out of this by coming back to the bonus objective, but you can see another patrol on my left, and another patrol in front of me. This is like textbook death looping right here. But, given the amount of time, normally if this was like, if I didn't have the main objective done, or I was almost out of time, I would probably leave on the spot. But because I have the main objective done, and I did it in a really good time as well, like I did the main objective in like 15-ish minutes, which means I still have 25 minutes left, so I figured I will death loop this, but there will eventually get to a point where if I don't die, I should get to a point where I can maybe catch a break, maybe a long enough break to the point where I can do the Seath real quick. But right now, it does not look like that's going to happen. I'm still fighting enemies, and I can see another Bile Titan on the way. Yeah, these Nursing Spewers and the Charger and the Bile Titan makes this really hard. But for once, I finally activate that terminal. But, like I said before, that terminal, as you know, is going to call in every bug creature under the sun. So, even though there are bugs on me, I'm trying to do the main objective at the same time. I'm trying to do this objective at the same time, so I'm loading a shell in there. The Bile Titan, I don't know if you've heard, but he's pissed. This is another patrol. Like I said, death looping does not end, and there's no way to break the loop. You can see how many bugs are over there, and guess what? It's another Hunter Patrol. They're calling in another bug breach, and this is death looping. Yep, I'm gonna keep saying it because it's very important to know just how bad it is. But I figured it's probably the best time for that hell bomb. So I see not one, but two Bile Titans, and that's probably the best time to use Hell Bombs as there could be. So I'm trying to get both of them caught up in this Hell Bomb, so I want to get them both as close to the Hell Bomb as I can. So I'm just trying to run around and try and get them both. You see that one in the back is being an idiot and not knowing where he's going. Preemptive stem there because the Charger and the Bile Titan were spewing at me. And then the idiot detonates the Hell Bomb themselves, which works great for me, not great for my bitrate. Because of how many hunters there were, I'm not able to check the aftermath, but I can tell you now, that actually did kill both of the Bile Titans, which worked great in my favor. Now that I led them away, and most of them died, I'm able to load the Seep. And I like to load it in a specific way. Small booms first, mini nuke in the middle, and then napalm last. That's usually my... So it's that specific one is explosive, explosive, big explosive, bigger explosive, and then napalm. So I finally got that terminal done, which means that I am out of here. The main of that sub-objective is finally done after like 10 minutes of constant fighting. And as you can see, just how many bugs are still here. So the best course of action for me is now that the now that the sub-objective is done, my goal is to get out. But that's not going to be the easiest thing in the world with this Charger on me. But I can't kill him now because I have too many bugs right on my ass. So I gotta keep moving. Now that I have a little more space between us, I can finally take care of this Charger, which I do. He goes down nice and quick to the flamethrower. I make sure that ultimate fits, which is why I was super hesitant there. They call in yet another bug breach, which is more proof that we just needed to leave. Yep, the just leave policy is becoming more and more potent. With how many chasing me, I figured I'd better gas strike this. I also see a Bile Titan on me. I'm trying to deal with these Shriekers in the process, just so that way they aren't a constant nuisance. Even if they don't hurt me, they hurt my shield generator, and my shield generator is very, very important. So because I'm getting to extraction, I always resupply whenever I get to extraction. So you can see me preemptively reloading some of my guns right here, so that way when I finally get there, I can just simply grab a supply and go. I don't have to reload it while I'm doing it. Shoot the hunter first, and then keep moving on. Now that one was almost really bad, and I almost died. That's the downside. Those frickin' nursing skewers. Anyway, I tried really quickly to get this extraction off, which I do succeed at. So, which you know what that means. You go 500 time for the Bile Titan. Preemptive stem there. I usually will stem if a Bile Titan is spitting at me because they do really hurt. Really unfortunate that I didn't get that Bile Titan kill there, but it's totally okay. That's why we have Seep Artillery. And the fruits of my 10 minutes of fighting there will be coming in clutch here. So I throw it down here to try and time it correctly. And with just pure luck, basically, I time it perfectly. Lands right on that Bile Titan's back. Puts a crater into his spine there. So that nuked the Bile Titan. So with now more Bile Titan there, I can start dealing with these warriors and all the tiny guys. Gas Strike is what I would have done, but Seep Artillery is also very good. I'm trying to get to that mini nuke. Like I said, I had 2 explosives. Memorize your Seep patterns. I had 2 explosives first, so I'm getting those out of the way. So next up, I know is a mini nuke. I know the next one's a mini nuke, so I'm saving that for either if there's a very, 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 very large horde of enemies that I have to deal with, or a Bile Titan. So I gas strike this ramp because there's only one way to go up it, as well as there was a bug breach right next to it. Right here, I'm actually looking for my resupply pod that I threw down, and I cannot find it. There's too many bugs for me to stick around and keep looking for it, so I bail. I see the Bile Titan, so which you know what that means. It's mini nuke time. Preemptive stand here. That mini nuke is about to go off, so I'm running away, and it completely shatters that Bile Titan. Completely gets rid of him. At this point, I'm not even trying to prioritize enemies, I'm just trying to stay alive, and that usually just includes killing whatever's in front of me. If you got no reason to stay, which you probably don't, just get the hell out of there. And with a very chaotic mission, that was the mission. And hey, that one was also deathless. When I was playing this, I did not intend for it to be deathless, but I usually aim for that goal. So yeah, it went very, very well. Because I have the atmosphere explorers, I did not get the 2 heavy nests, but don't beat yourself up about it. You don't really have the time to deal with all of the nests, so if you miss a few of them, or even all of them, don't feel too bad. In my mind, just doing the main objective and the bonus objectives are a good mission in my book. Checking my kill count, 700 kills is a lot, by the way. So you can see that death looping there at the Siege Artillery really kind of screwed me over. But I think it was worth it in the end because I did get that mini nuke. There are some times when it's just best to say that it isn't worth it if you are losing. Alright, so I'm going to take a second here to pause at the minimap again. You can see the general path that I'm going to take. I'm going from the oil to the launch codes to the power generator. And then I'm probably going to hit the sub-objective, go to the main objective, and then extraction's right next to it. So landing in a spot that is close to the sub-objective, but not right on top of it. So once again, I'm taking the exosuit. Again, place that with the flamethrower. I'm only taking the exosuit because the flamethrower is an extra stratagem. And it was supposed to be just like an emergency just in case thing. But, like I said, I did want to do it without the exosuit. It was only if, like, I was down to my last reinforcement and was out of options, which, spoiler alert, it didn't come to that. Alright, so immediately I'm looking around, I see the game is trying to land me on a bug nest there, so I'm going to dodge out of the way of that. So, the order you want to do, by the way, is resupply, shield generator, or whatever backpack you're using, and then support weapon, because that's the order that they take to come down the longest. You do them in that order, and they should all come down at about the same time. That just saves you a little bit of time. Don't do resupply last, or else you'll be waiting for 10 minutes. So just like last time, I spawned right next to a spore spewer, so I'm trying to chuck my 500 on the top. Right there, I actually succeed, and prove to you that it is possible. As you can see, the 500 impacts right on top of it and completely shatters the spore spewer. For future reference, I do believe you can break it with about 5 or 6 impact grenades. They upped the amount of health and armor those things have, so traditional means don't really work anymore. I did notice this bug hive, so I figured I might as well do this right quick. You will also notice that there are bile spewers. Bile spewers are the green Gatorade version of nursing spewers that have armor and can also mortar you from a distance. They're my absolute least favorite enemy in the entire game. Yeah. But, you know, yeah, you deal with what you want to deal. So, as per usual, I'm waiting right for that bug breach, and I'm gassed right on top of it. Those tiny bugs block my grenade pistol shot, but it's okay. Deal with that heavy nest, and then you're all good to go. You can see just how many spore spewers are back there, and then mortaring from me from a distance is not fun. But dealing with chargers is very important, as they will just completely knock your ass into oblivion. That has happened before. I have gotten a charger to completely knock me into a different area. Here I'm just trying to reload my flamethrower, and I'm getting abused by everything around here. And you can see why I don't like these guys. In fact, I don't like them so much that I'm going to 500 them. Which my 500 is reserved for Bile Titans, so like I said, the nursing spewers are okay, because they don't have armor, meaning you can just shoot them in the face. The bile spewers do have armor. So, the side of them doesn't have armor, but that's it. Their face, which is the weakest part of their body, is covered in armor. So my breaker incendiary just straight up will not touch it. Anyway. I know there's a lot of nursing spewers back there. I'm sorry, bile spewers, but like my motto has said, you just gotta keep moving, right? There's nothing for you back there other than prolonged fighting. So I'm just gonna try and clear out this main objective best as I can, trying to do the objective intermittently to try and speed things along. Cover is really important against these spewers, whether they're nursing or bile, because, well, they can't exactly spew you if you're behind a wall. So diving sometimes doesn't work, and it's just really awkward sometimes. So I did see a bile spewer, or a bile titan, sorry, back there, and there was a hell bomb near this way. You'll notice a common trend when it comes to bile titans and me finding random hell bombs. Also, making sure you shoot them. You'll notice every time I want to use a hell bomb, I'm going to shoot the bile titan. It has a small startup animation whenever it gets pissed for the first time, at least the ones that, like these patrolling ones. So you want to make sure that the animation doesn't screw up your timing. You'll see me shooting at him immediately. Make sure you do that. Once he's close enough, run that hell bomb, and I realized a little too late that I completely missed the hell bomb somehow. So I go into plan B mode, which is just go to the other side of him, but he goes and tries and follows me, so I have to basically run right next to the hell bomb, which is not my favorite place to be. Once I feel like he's close enough, I launch it. Which hell bomb has a massive explosion, so you can be pretty generous. However, the unfortunate part of that interaction was not the fact that it took me a while to kill that Bile Titan, was the fact that it took long enough to the point where a patrol showed up, which is just delaying my main objective even further and getting me that much closer to death looping. Alright, once they're all done, I'm going to do main objective here. Solving a children's puzzle has never been harder. But the few seconds of calm you get when you're on solo Helldive, or even Helldive in general, they're nice. They're really nice. You come to really appreciate these quiet moments where you're not getting bombarded by green spewers. Because I have ADHD and forget things easily, well, I haven't been officially diagnosed, but I think I do. You'll also notice me checking my stratagems constantly. Having 2 Eagle 500s is extremely important. If you're in these quiet, slow parts of the game, it's really important to make sure that you're constantly Eagle rearming to make sure you have 2 in case you mess up the first one, or there's 2 Bile Titans. So on the way to my other objective, I came across a bug hive. I figured while I'm on the way to my main objective, I might as well do this. There's nothing to fight right now, so I'm just going to clear out these bug holes right away. The less holes there are, the less I have to fight. Gas strike the bug breach. I thought in this moment I thought that the bug hole was the bug breach, so I threw my I threw my gas strike a little close to not even close. I threw my gas strike not even close to where the actual bug strike was, but thankfully it still got like 27-30 kills. Wow, it really is racking up kills there. Gas strike's awesome, yeah. Gas strike is extremely underrated. Dealing with these nursing spewers, dealing with these bile spewers is quite a chore. The best way I've found to do it is to wait for them to spew and then flamethrower them. But even that doesn't work all the time. So, just trying to deal with them here. They kill you really quickly, so I'm really trying to play around that range where I'm close enough to kill them with my stuff, but not too close that they'll just one-shot me. So completely whiffed this grenade pistol twice. And then I died. That was a death that should not have happened. Right as soon as I got in the red there, I should have stemmed. It's annoying, but, you know, everyone makes mistakes. So I used the hell pod to close one of the other bug holes, but I missed the grenade pistol on twice. Impact grenade plus a few shots will usually kill those spewers, but that also means you have to waste an impact grenade. But picking up my stuff here, sorry for yawn. Picking up my stuff here and then clearing the next bug hole. Dealing with hunters, remember hunters are priority, and then because there's nothing left for me here, I'm immediately leaving, going straight for this spore spewer. Which, in case you're wondering why you couldn't see anything, that was the reasoning why. I believe what I'm trying to do here is somehow get the Bile Titan caught up in this Spore Spewer when I 500 it. Trying to look for the Bile Titan. I shoot him to piss him off so he knows where I am. Right about now. Oh, that's right. I used my newfound trick of convincing the Bile Titan to carefully and meticulously eradicate the Spore Spewer for me. So that's a fun trick that I've learned while literally playing that last mission. If you have a Bile Titan on you, have it break the Nursing Spewer for you. Nope, have it break the Spore Spewer for you. You should play Spewers, man. I forget the terminology often. As you can see, I'm playing close to this rock here, playing close to that corner, because like I said before, corners are extremely important when it comes to Bile Spewers and Nursing Spewers. Use a grenade pistol to bust open the fence, so I don't have to go all the way around. Launch codes are super easy because they always spawn in the exact same place, depending on where they spawn. Right there, they're always spawn in the middle of that junk area. So there's absolutely nothing for me here, meaning my keep moving mentality. I'm worried about that guy crushing me right there, so I quickly dodge out of the way. Gas strike to cover my flank. But right now, I'm just trying to head for the escape pod and basically just running away. Yeah, I'm looking around trying to see anything else while I'm walking, whether it's a radar, whether it's a shrieker nest, stalker nest, bug hole, whatever. I'm just looking around trying to find anything and everything I can do, because the more you do, the more XP you get, and the more XP you get, the more of a liberation value you get. So right away I spot this shrieker nest, which I think you should be able to spot based on the amount of shriekers that are now spawning. So it's really important, if you're not getting overwhelmed by other enemies, to deal with these shriekers while you are walking towards them, because they will keep spawning and they will keep killing you. Right before that, I'm going to resupply because I'm running low on shotgun ammo. And shotgun ammo is the single best thing against these shriekers, the incendiary. So I'm making sure that I'm fully nice and prepped and stimming, so that way when I take two, I get full anyway and full health. Hell bomb coming in. I'm finding basically the best spot. I'm looking at all three of them, and I'm putting it that hell bomb right in the middle. The hell bomb has good range, but these things have a lot of health, so trying to put the hell bomb in the dead center of all three of them is really important. So anyway, as soon as hell bomb comes down, I'm going to put the terminal as quickly as I can. You can see I don't immediately leave the area like my Helldiver says I should. What I'm doing is I'm waiting. The bugs will try to break the hell bomb, and if they break it, then you have to redeploy it, and it completely screws up everything. So I stay around for a second to make sure that the hell bomb goes off. Another big problem is chargers will one-shot it if they go into it. So making sure there's no charges in the area is also extremely important. So even though I have max samples, I have literally nothing to do, so I'm just picking up these samples while I'm waiting. I think the forced waiting that comes with the whatever mission this is, the escape pod one, is really boring. But it is what it is. Right here you can see me looking at the minimap. I'm trying to see through the bug spores. I'm trying to find anything on the minimap I can see, like that Seif I found earlier. Just trying to find... because the minimap is still there, it's just covered by that layer of bug spores. So I'm just trying to see... yeah. Anyway, I will give you my all-stars playing for half a second. I believe that was me. I think I queued that up while I was waiting at that Seif. So, while I was looking at the minimap, I think I found a radar, or I just stumbled across it, either way. Radar paw, we like radars. So, another thing that's going through my mind right now is bug breaches. It's been a while since we've had a bug breach, which means that the next time that I get into fighting, someone's probably going to try and call a bug breach. So I'm trying to kill all of the small enemies I can to delay that bug breach as much as I can. And I believe I fail when they call the bug breach anyway, because there's just too many of them. Anyways, all my impact grenades, those spore spewers, nope, those bile spewers are quite annoying. Flamethrower deals with them nicely, but eventually gets to the point where there's too many of them. It's also really important while you're at radar. If you're going to fight, make sure at least the radar is raising while you're doing it. Which is why I'm doing what I'm doing now. Right here, I'm checking to see over the wall where the radar is. Dealing with these near-new biospheres in the process. Right now, I'm listening for that beep right there. Which is why I turned the music off. That beep basically means that it's in the right spot. Or you moved it out of the right spot, but in general it means it's in the right spot. So because I already got all the other bonus objectives, it's not going to show me anything outside of the minor places of interest, but guess what? We don't need those minor places of interest. You will notice that in pretty much all of my missions, I don't go to any of them. Like I said, time is extremely important when you are playing solo Helldive. If you are not managing your meticulously, ever depleting, it's going to go terribly for you. So you gotta have as much time as possible. Like, in general, you want to end missions with about 10 to 15 minutes left. Like, that's the pace you want to be moving at. Because if something goes wrong and you're death looping or whatever at a main objective, you need that time. So making sure you're on a really, really good pace, that's another reason why skipping some bug holes is totally fine. Right? If you miss a heavy nest or whatever, it's not the end of the world, right? It's not required. So here you can see that example of that terminal I was talking about. I did not need to wait for the terminal to finish whatever it was doing. Also, this isn't required, but memorizing exactly when you have to do each step is kind of important. So at that point, I know that the next step is just simply flicking that lever. So instead of sitting near the terminal, I sit near the generator. But there just so happens to be another patrol coming my way, so I figured before it deals with me, I'll deal with it. It spawns a bug breach, I throw a gas strike, you get the gist. Clunk that lever, don't wait around to see what will happen, you leave. Remember, if there's nothing for you there's nothing for you anymore, just get out of there. It's one of the hardest lessons to learn in Helldivers because you want to fight. You want to have all the action. And I totally get it. Trust me, I get it. Playing with friends and fighting all the bugs under the sun is a blast. But if you're going to be doing Helldive, especially solo, you have to leave. You have to dip. You cannot stay at objectives, right? So if you want to have fun killing a bunch of bugs, I'd recommend doing it on a lower difficulty where you can do that. You have the time to. So anyway. Along the way to that main objective, I spot this bug nest. I figured I have the time, I'm going to do it. Maybe not a great idea, but it's also not the worst idea in the world. However, I do get demolished by that charger there, which really sucks. I was really confident that my flamethrower would kill him. Can't see anything, so I'm just basically hellpod diving, completely blind here. At this point, I have two decisions, and it's either try and go back to my stuff, or go to the main objective and call on new stuff. I guess I really wanted this nest at the time, so we're going to keep fighting. But in moments like these, if you just want to dip, that is also totally valid strategy. Get your stuff.
Last reload.
Everything's reloaded, and then deal with that heaviness. Frickin' Hive Guard gets in my way. Very, very annoying. So that's why we have shield generators, so he can't even touch me. Anyway, you only get one grenade pistol per ammo thing. Like those random ammo things you find around the place, you only get one grenade pistol from each, which sucks, but... Anyway, now that the nest is done, even though they called it a bug breach, you just leave. I really hope you're starting to learn the general strategy when it comes to solo bugs. I don't really do solo bots. I don't like bots, personally. I can play them. I'm just not to the skill level where I can do solo Helldive on bots yet. But I am on bugs, so hence why you're seeing this now. Hunters first, and then you deal with these guys. What I'll usually do is, with those single guys, I'll just shoot them in the face once with a grenade pistol, and then shoot them in the side, like the green big bulb on the side, right in the center. That green part, not the black part. The black part's the armor, but that green part is no armor. So if you shoot that a little bit, like I did right there, you can shoot straight through these guys, even though they have armor. You can kind of do it from the front, but it doesn't really work. Going to the side and blasting them is much, much better. That's what I do right there, to just quickly dispatch of them. Flamethrower works better for groups, and grenade pistol, or impact grenade, like you see here, works even better. 2 grenade pistols will completely demolish... Grenade pistol, I get my word confused. 2 impact grenades will completely demolish any horde of bile spewers or nursing spewers. So always, that's another reason I take impact grenades. With the addition of the throwing knife, I really want to take those over the impact grenades because they're a lot more fun. But that's more for like lower difficulties. Yeah. Right here, I see this group of nursing spewers, but I don't care. I am doing the main objective. Plus, they don't even seem to notice me, which is cool. So, and then they notice me. But it's more important to do the main objective first. So, anyway, I get absolutely demolished by spit there. So I figured I'll just stem away and get back up top. The thing with ICBM is it takes a very, very long time to do pretty much any part of it. So if you are going to fight an ICBM, make sure you have the ICBM raising or the ICBM fueling. Here I'm just impact grenading this guy from afar because I'm right next to my own resupply, so I can use a few of them. I'm punching these guys to death because I don't want to reload my gun. But I almost called in a bug breach though for that, so don't let them do that. Here I'm just waiting. Nothing really exciting to say. The thing with ICBM is it usually takes about 2 minutes to get to the point where you start the thing, and then once you're all done with the forced waiting. Another thing to note about ICBM is it works like, what's it called? Just talking about it. It works like Thief, where as soon as you hit that terminal and the ICBM starts raising, it will call in every patrol in the area. However, it will call in every patrol to the bottom, not the terminal itself. It will call it to the missile. In other words, if you do what I'm doing here, which is just crouch and don't shoot anything, a lot of the patrols will just walk right by you. Trust me, death looping starts when you start fighting. If you don't even fight to begin with, don't ever have to run the risk of death looping. So on normally, assuming you don't have any bug spores, checking just holding your map is good. Alright, once you hit that button, run away or else you will get lit and burnt to a crisp. So with the main objective done and all the bonus objectives done, I'm heading straight to extraction. Do not care about anything else. I want to get out of there as soon as possible. And you ready for the most satisfying sound in this game? Oh boy. Anyway, always call down resupply when you're at extraction. You're going to be fighting there, and also that's the last time you're going to be on the mission. You might as well use them. See a bunch of shriekers above me. I don't want to deal with any of them, so I'm just going to lay them all out. Beautiful part about the breaker incendiary is a single pellet will take these guys down. Fire damage will do the rest. Here I'm just getting a close-up at these guys because I've actually never seen them up close before. Yes, 200 hours into the game and I've never seen these guys up close. Anyway, extraction time, and we're fighting, which means you know what time it is. It's music time. Those bile skewers will mortar me from the distance, so I'm trying to deal with as many of them as I can, so I don't have to deal with that mortar from the distance. There's also a Bile Titan on me, which means it's 500 time. I'm going to chuck it kind of preemptively before he even spews, because it looks like he kind of got stuck there. And my timing was just not quite right. But the guy's weak enough to the point where the next one should kill. But that was not... I didn't have my 500 in my hand when he started spitting, so I figured I'd better not risk it. So while he's doing his whole charade, I'm going to go ahead and start killing a few others. I stem here because there's a lot of chaos happening around me. Climb up this rock. And then the game crashes. Right 20 seconds before extraction. About 40 seconds before extraction was gonna get me out of there. The game crashed. I'm left sitting my home screen on Steam, looking at the patch notes that were talking about an improvement to game crashes. So, at that time, I did not play Helldivers. I left. I wasn't super upset because I did very good. Only 2 deaths throughout the entire mission is very, very good. I don't think I would have died in that last bit of extraction. Once I came back a few hours later, I did the entire mission over again. This time with the exact same amount of deaths, but I actually extracted. A few things to note was that during the mission, I was playing copyrighted music instead of the payday music I was playing the first time, so I won't be showing you the actual mission itself because, well, you also just saw it, so I don't know why you'd want to see it again. It was the exact same mission. It basically did the exact same thing. So you can see the end result screen here. I did pretty good, 2 of the heavy nests and 1 of the medium nests, all the bonus objectives. I think I did better on time this second run, technically. But yeah, 1500 XP is really, really good. It's another reason that leveling up with Helldive difficulties is just goes by super quickly. Yeah, it's like a quarter of your XP bar, even at level 72. 15 squad impact, also very, very good. Now this was back when we were just clearing out bug planets, but with that, all 3 missions out of the way, I really hope that this was kind of an insight into exactly what goes through my mind whenever I'm playing these games. If you want to see more of these if you want to see more of these commentaries where I'm talking over my gameplay or just the gameplay itself, I also plan on doing a video where I'm just talking about a bunch of stratagem ideas I had, mission objectives, new stuff for the game that I think would be really, really cool to add. I also plan on doing that in the future. So, but if you want to see more stuff like this, or if you want me to go back to live commentary, please let me know. I'm a tiny content creator who really only started doing this because I play way too much Helldivers, so I figured I might as well record it, right? Maybe there's a chance other people will enjoy it. So anything I can do to improve would be greatly appreciated. But as for this mission and where Helldivers will take us, only time may tell. Anyway, that's the video. See ya.